Good morning. This is a public service announcement to anyone who is feeling influenced or has been influenced into buying the Jugbo dog training collar off of TikTok. Just don't do it. Don't do it. I tried one on myself yesterday, and I turned it down, like the shock setting, down to what the receiver told me was a level 1, and I tried it on my hand, and it was like, I'm comparing to eCollar Technologies, which is like the brand that I have used and had for like 3 years, and the level 1 on a Jugbo e-collar was the same as having it on like a level 12 or 13 on a eCollar Technologies mini educator. Now, that may not sound concerning to those who don't know, but you should be concerned because the way that the electric shock is set up, you're already off the bat on a level 1 hitting your dog on like a level 12 or 13. That is not good. That is not good. That is a super high stimulation for no reason at all. And so if the Jugbo collar is lying to you about the stim or the shock and how powerful it actually is, if a 1 on a Jugbo is the same as like a 12 or a 13 on another very good brand of e-collar, then if you turn it up to a 2, you're probably hitting the dog on something closer to a 25 or a 30 on a regular e-collar, and so forth and so on. So on most e-collars that you buy that are made specifically for dogs, they go from a level 0 all the way up to 100. Now, the Jugbo e-collar goes from a level 1 all the way up to 16, I think was the highest. Now, because the numbers are so few, it's drastic. A level 0 to 100 from a 1 to 16, that should also concern you, because that also means that every time you turn up the Jugbo collar from a 2 to a 3, it's probably turning up in like 10s or 15s. So by the time you get to what is labeled on the remote as a 16, you're really hitting your dog on a 100 on a regular, or a 99 on a regular e-collar. And blasting dogs, blasting them on that level hurts. And it's probably, I want to say it's probably going to be a level 16 on a Jugbo e-collar is going to be even higher powered than the level 99 or 100 on a eCollar Technologies collar, which again should really concern you, because if you are hitting your dog on even like the level 3s on the Jugbo collar, you're probably hitting them actually at like a level 35 or 40. That's a pretty high stimulation, and most dogs respond on a eCollar Technologies collar at like a 4 to a 6. Sometimes you have to go up a little bit or down a little bit depending on the dog, but most of the time 4 to 6 is like the starting out working stim for these dogs. So basically, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to work an e-collar, and you don't understand what an e-collar is actually supposed to feel like on you, and you can kind of test it beforehand. If you don't understand any 3 of those things, or how to condition a dog to an e-collar, or how to do anything on an e-collar, and you buy one of these Jugbo e-collars, these type of Jugbo collars and other cheap ones like it are the ones that will destroy your dog. They will create a dog that is mentally just neurotic, because again, what the remote says, oh, I'm just hitting the dog on a 3, that number 3 isn't bad. Yeah, it may not look bad on the remote, but really you're hitting them on like a level 45. So like that's a pretty high level of correction for probably a recall. Now, e-collar work is a lot more nuanced than what I'm like giving these examples and trying to compare, but I am like begging you. I'm begging you. Please, 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 please do not be influenced by these cheap e-collars on TikTok. Please. Please do not. Because you will create more stress, more anxiety, more just unclear communication, and you're going to create a lot more problems for yourself and your dog than if you were to spend a little more money and go with a brand that is specifically designed for dogs. And also it's like cheaper, especially when it comes to electronics. Like, you're not gonna go and spend like off iPhone brand. Like, you just wouldn't do that. You'd be like, ew, no, I don't want that looks cheap and stupid. Kind of the same thing for the e-collars, right? So just please don't. I was glad that I was able to try one of these e-collars for myself, so that I knew exactly what was going on with them. But if you look in a lot of the videos of people using these collars, and they may not even be using the stem or the shock, but oftentimes you see with dogs that a beep or a vibrate is going to be more aversive than the stem. Not all the time. Again, there's a lot more nuance that comes into play, but this is why and this is nothing new, on low level stimulation before I do anything and play with any sort of higher level stuff. So please, 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 please do not buy this collar. You may not regret it in the moment that you first start using it and you first start buying it, but at some point you will regret it. I can promise you that.